What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. As you can see, we're not home today. We're at my parents' house and we're getting after it. We got the M4 here. This thing's getting some new brakes, brake pads and rotors, so that's gonna be installed on this car. We're not gonna worry about that today though. We are gonna install the new Aero kit on the Charger. We got the new front lip here. We got some side skirts. We also got a diffuser, and we got some rear spats as well for the trunk of the car. I think I brought those. I might have forgot them at home. Yeah, so it looks like I forgot the rear spats. They're gonna come right off here. But we do got the diffuser, side skirts, and then the front lip that we're gonna be installing. So we're gonna unbox all this and get this thing looking like it should, because I've been kind of neglecting this car. This thing could look so much nicer with the lip and like all the Aero and stuff, and I just haven't put it on. So today's the day. So if you're wondering if I got anything fancy, it's quite the opposite. Everything that I bought today was off of eBay, because I know with how low my car is, I'm just gonna destroy it anyway. Like, I've been through 2 lips already. One was an expensive one was a cheap one. Both of them blew off, hit them on the road, speed bumps, all that kind of stuff. So I really wasn't gonna plan on spending more money and getting something expensive when it's just gonna break anyway. Gloss black, no carbon. Didn't want to spend the money on carbon and then just break it. So we went with an eBay set right here. Not gonna lie to you guys and tell you it's something fancy when it's not. It's also very affordable. I think I paid like 80 bucks for this lip, which is crazy, because now if I break it, I just go get a new one, take this one off, install a new one, and we're good to go. So this is how we're looking right now. We got the front lip set up, mocked up in front of the front bumper. These are the side skirts right here. As you can tell, it's pretty aggressive. I'm pretty sure my door should be able to open with this little fin. It should sit like right below the door. If not, we'll cut some of it away. But overall, pretty aggressive. It is gonna stick out a good amount from the sides. And then we also got our little rear diffuser sitting right here. So that will replace the old one that we have. It's kind of like gray, and then this one just pop a little bit more, and I think it's also a little bit more aggressive, so that's gonna be nice. And then we also got the side skirt on this side. They just took off the other diffuser. Imagine we just cut all this away and you just see 2 big exhaust tips out of it, and we just put a trailer hitch next behind it and just pull a trailer, pull a E30 or something. But yeah, let's go ahead and throw the new one on. Should be really easy. 4 bolts, and then there's also 2 tabs right here at the end. But everything else just clips right into the factory mounting spots, which is nice. And just like that, we got the rear diffuser on. So now we can start tackling the side skirt, which I think is going to be a little bit easier. It is just going to be a lot of bolts. So we're going to do that next. And they're still working on the brakes. As you can tell, safety is our #1 priority. Not sure how well you guys can tell on camera, but this thing is super aggressive, and it comes down like a good 1 to 2 inches. So now this is how low we are from the ground. Like, that's crazy. We haven't bolted it down just yet. We do need to tighten it down, actually screw it in, because right now it's just held on by a 3M tape. But that is scaring me right there, because that could easily, something could hit that and just take the entire thing with it. But this is how it looks from the top. So it adds like a good 2 inches here, and then you have this little fin. So that's how that looks. I was scared that the door might not open, but we got clearance with that. So now we're just gonna screw everything in, and hopefully it stays on. Yeah, go ahead, just lower it. Woohoo! That looked crazy. You can't even tell on camera because it's so bright out. But right here, you guys can see.
Wait till you see it on the other side.
Yeah. So like, this is how it looks with it on. Again, can't tell how well you guys can see it on camera or not. But then, this is it without it. So I'm gonna go ahead and quickly do this one, and then should be good, at least for the rest of the stuff. And then the front lip is gonna take the longest. But it's funny because my dad was in here. He was laughing at me because he knows in 2 weeks this thing's gonna come flying off. And I could see it. Like, I don't see this lasting too long, to be honest. This looks so good. Look at that. It's so aggressive. That's what's wild. And again, I'm gonna say this again, it's like my third time saying it, it's a cheap eBay kit, but that's okay because it looks really good. And like I said, it's not real carbon, just gloss black, doesn't need to be fancy or anything. And if you're thinking about running it, I would highly recommend. But still need to throw this on. I think honestly we're just gonna finish up this car and then do this one later. So it's been a few days since the last clip. We actually have the car back in the garage. We're back at home, and I actually went ahead and cut away this inside of the lip. You can't even really tell, as you can see, very rough cut, but wanted to make space for this piece right here. So this comes about an inch, maybe 2 off the actual bumper itself. So because of that, that little winglet wasn't sitting flush. So now we should be able to sit with that little piece inside the actual winglet itself. And I did that on both sides, so both of them are now cut. And again, no one's ever gonna actually see it. So now we're gonna go ahead and try mocking it up and getting this spoiler on. And since we're home, we also have our rear spats that go right there, so we'll be installing those. And this is how I'm holding everything in place. I got a little box under there, something that was just the right height, and then I just lowered the jack to it, and then from there just taped everything in place, closed up the gap as much as possible. There is going to be a little bit of gap because obviously this thing's not perfect. Like right here there is a bit of a gap, and then right here there is going to be a bit of a gap, but overall closing it up as much as possible. And then from the sides, it doesn't go all the way to the back, which is kind of nice because if I ever need to get to this bolt right here, I can, and that kind of sits just like that, which is nice. So that way this can come off without the lip having to come off, which was a fear of mine actually. So now it's just a matter of tightening everything down, bolting it up. And again, it is connected to the bumper, so it's not the strongest splitter. It's not made for like downforce. It's mostly just for aesthetics. So if you're looking for downforce, this is not the lip that you want. This is just for cosmetics. So just want to make that a disclaimer before anyone else watches this. And just like that, we are good to go. So now it's just a matter of throwing those rear spats on. Everything here is tightened up. I did a good amount of screws, used all the factory mounting holes that comes on the splitter, not the factory ones, but the ones that are pre-drilled, and then put in a few extra wherever I thought necessary. Just don't do what I did and bolt too close to the edge of the bumper. You can't see the screw, but you can see a little tiny divot right there. But yeah, because of that screw, everything is tucked up real nice, but you notice it, I just messed up there. Now that we have their lip on, the only piece that's left to put on is this one. I put some 3M tape on it, and I think this is the wrong side. It should be this one. So now this should fit just like that against the bumper. And the reason I got the new diffuser, which is gloss black, is so that it matches this perfectly. So I'm gonna quickly bolt this down and show you guys how it looks. And now we got both the little spats, and I love how it matches up with the tire. It comes out farther than the body, and we got that on both sides. It literally took me all of 10 minutes, and the black matches the black around the arches. So literally all around the bottom of the car we have a black accent. I'm thinking about maybe putting that white kind of pin line striping across the bottoms at least, so that way it kind of stands out just a little bit more, because the black does kind of blend into the body. Can't really tell on camera, but let's go ahead and pull this car out and see how it looks in the sunlight. So we finally got the car outside of the garage, and honestly it is looking so good right now. So especially with these little rear bumper spats, I'm really loving the look. Like I said, the side skirts, they come a lot farther down on the car, so it makes the car look even lower than it was before. Luckily I haven't rubbed on anything just yet, but we'll kind of notice as we drive more, since I am daily in this car. The rear is fine, I don't think we'll have any issues with that. The front is exactly level with the bumper, so since I wasn't scraping on the bumper too much, now that I put the new wheels on, I think we should be good on that front. But overall, loving how it's looking with the entire kind of Aero kit, if you want to call it that. It's all from random companies, it's all plastic, but honestly it looks really good and it matches the car really well, especially like I mentioned before with the black around the edges of the car and stuff. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today's video. The car is looking great. Luckily, I'm glad we finally got this done. It's been a long time coming, and it finally makes the car look as aggressive as it should. So happy with the outcome, and definitely stay tuned, because I think now the only thing left for this car is starting to make more power. So if you haven't already, go down and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.